most of the books that I wanted to read were not available in the local market. At least there was no consistency in the availability. So I decided to solve the problem to myself, and I decided I'm going to launch my own online bookstore. Hi, I'm Nishan De Silva. I'm the founder of Jump.lk as well as Jumpbooks.lk. In 2015, I came across a book called The 4-Hour Work Week. This was when I was working at a corporate job. And when I read this book, I realized that I'm not cut out to work in the corporate world. So I decided to start my own business. At this time, I had no experience about starting a business. So I decided to create a website and I named it as Jump.lk. Now, I didn't know what to post or what to do with this website. So I started writing about the things that I was excited about personal finance, about money, about starting an e-commerce business, and about everything that I was excited about. And I ended up doing this for a while. Now, after some time, I realized that there's no way for me to make money. I didn't know how to monetize this website. So I decided to start an online bookstore. So why did I start an online bookstore? Because I was into reading non-fiction books, mostly books on personal development, on self-help, and most of the books that I wanted to read were not available in the local market. At least there was no consistency in the availability. So I decided to solve the problem to myself, and I decided I'm going to launch my own online bookstore. Now, at this point, I didn't know where to find books. So what I did was I ended up in one of the local bookstores, and I bought about 7 to 10 titles, and I created a page on my Jump.lk website, and I started selling them. After a couple of months, I got some orders and I validated the market, and I realized that okay, there are people just like me who are looking for non-fiction books, and I decided to launch a website for my book business. That's called Jumpbooks.lk. Right, so let me recommend some of the books. I mean, when you think about personal finance, obviously, if you are getting into personal finance investing, start with Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one of the classics. It will give you some type of an idea as to what has to happen with your money, how do you invest, what are assets as well as what are liabilities. You'll get that basic foundational idea. Once you finish that, you can read a book like I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, one of the books that I highly recommend. And if you want to go into investing in the stock market, as well as if you're serious about your investing, I would recommend you a book like Most Important Thing by Howard Marks, and also the follow-up to that, Mastering the Market Cycle by the same author, Howard Marks. And of course, you have the classic book by Benjamin Graham, Intelligent Investor. But those are some of the books that I would recommend if you are thinking about getting into investing as well as personal finance. And another book, A Random Walk Down on Wall Street, and another one, a little book about common sense investing. So if you read those, I think 4 or 5 books, you'll be good to go. Talking about my all-time favorite book, there's this book that I read a long time ago called Sabaya Minisukuge Katawak by Boris Plevoy. This is a real story that happened in, I think, Second World War. This I consider is the best book that I have ever read. I don't know if, obviously there is an English translation for this, but I read the Sinhala translation from this author called Dadigama V. Rodrigo. If you're into Russian translations, you will definitely know who this author is. So that's one of the best books that I have ever read. Talking about the book that changed my life, obviously that's 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. That's the book that led me to start Jump.lk as well as Jumpbooks.lk, and ever since that, because of that book, I had the opportunity to discover so many other books, because I ended up following Tim Ferriss, and he's also a big fan of books, and I ended up discovering so many good books as well as so many good people that I follow and that I look up. Not that I'm on their league or anything, I'm just following to learn from these people. I have a very routinized life. I thrive in a disciplined environment, so reading, from a hobby, it has become like a work thing that I do. I mean, I do it regularly as if it's my work. It probably depends on person to person. So if I don't have a structured timetable where I know this is what I have to do this day, I can easily go and procrastinate, and I have a very addictive personality. So let's say I ended up watching a Netflix series, and I'll be doing that throughout the day. But a structured, disciplined timetable gives me the focus that I need when I'm running my business. This is very true for people who are doing their own thing. There's nobody looking over your shoulder, so you have to be your own sort of manager, and you need to get the work done. So if you don't have a routinized work life or a personal life, what I would recommend you to do is start small. Maybe wake up around 6 and do one task that you do every day. So it can be reading. If you have to commute, maybe reading is not, you can't do reading. So maybe you can listen to an audiobook, or you can listen to a podcast, right? So I mean, don't just immediately create a routinized life. This is what I'm going to do from now on forever. That is not going to work. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. Start with one habit. I mean, you can pick up reading, or you can work out for 5 minutes. Start with one thing, and it will eventually move, and it will eventually cascade into other areas of your life. So for me, the big change happened when I started meditating about 4 years ago. So I started meditating for about 5 minutes every day. I didn't start meditating 5 minutes. I meditated about 1 minute and then I gave up. But I made sure that I do this every day. So meditation led me to think about my health. That ended up that led me to work out, and that led me to improve my eating habits, and it started cascading to every area. I mean, it came to my financial life, and it came to my business. When it comes to my mobile phone as well as social media, I have so many limitations, and I think all that happened because of this one keystone habit that I started a long time ago, which is meditation. Now I know meditation is not for everyone, so I'm not recommending you to do meditation. Maybe it can be journaling. Maybe as soon as you wake up, you can start writing something, right? So start with one habit, and eventually take a long-term perspective. Like, you're not going to change your life within a couple of months. To get seriously healthy, it will take 5 to 10 years, right? So take a long-term approach. Even if you're thinking about starting a business, don't think that you need to succeed within the next 3 to 4 months. Take a long-term approach to life, and eventually everything in life, after some time, you will realize, because I just passed 30s, not that I'm very old or anything, but then you realize over time that things take time, and that's what it is all about. It's the long term that matters. So take a long term approach to your life. Basically, what I want to do with Jump.lk is to create an education platform where people can learn skills that are not taught in schools. Basically, skills like personal finance, how to invest, how to start your own business, how to do digital marketing, things of that nature. So it has ended up, or it's evolving to become an online education platform where we have online courses as well as a lot of free resources for people who are interested to learn skills that are not taught in school. So that's what I do now. I have Jump.lk on one side, and I have Jumpbooks.lk on the other side. And thinking about my future, I want Jump.lk to be a one-stop platform for people who are purely interested in learning, not just for the sake of getting a certificate, but to genuinely learn about something, to create a resource where people can do that at the same time, to become probably one of the largest book importers in the country, and get some of the best-selling books in the world to our local readers. So that's what I have in mind when it comes to my when I think about my future.